You want to know how we afford to travel on a very limited budget? Well, this is part of it. Nice little house in a nice neighborhood, but when I bought my house, I really got screwed. Yeah, when I bought this place, I wasn't aware that it had defective siding on it. And boy, does it ever. This siding was sold as having a lifetime warranty on it. The siding actually only lasted about 6 or 8 years before the paint started falling off. There was a class action lawsuit and the previous owner took the money and ran. So when I bought the house, I had no idea that the siding was defective. At that time, the paint wasn't falling off it yet. But right after I bought it, this started happening. The paint just started flaking off. It comes off in areas, and so like wherever the sun hits it or whatever, the paint will start flaking. I power wash it and I get that off, and then I undercoat it and then put on 2 finish coats, but the very next summer a different area starts flaking off, and there's no way to just repaint the whole house and have it hold. It won't. It just comes off from underneath. So I can either replace all of the siding on the house, which I can't afford to do, or for the rest of my life, every year I've got to touch up paint, and that's what I'm up against. Man, I just hate this. There is no fixing this because you would have to remove all the paint that's on the house to fix it, and that just can't be done. What do you do, sandblast the whole frickin' house? Not gonna happen. So until after I die and somebody else gets this house, this is gonna have to be constantly repainted. Oh man, what a pain. You know, that's another thing. I think that's one of those things that should have been in a disclosure statement by the previous owner. Whatever happened to disclosure statements anyway? That's where you tell people what's wrong with the property so that you don't get sued later. But anyways, too many years have gone by. So I'm wearing my painter's clothes, and yet again, I'm going to get on it. I did buy a good sprayer. This thing really works extremely well, although it takes a lot longer to clean it afterwards than it does to actually spray the paint on. I already pressure washed the house a few days ago and got an undercoat on it. You should have seen the paint flying off of it. One of our friends told us to put down sheet plastic all along the front to catch all the paint chips, and boy did that help. Afterwards, there was no saving that plastic. You just had to roll it up and throw it away. It was so full of paint chips. What a mess. So a good portion of the house on this side, after I pressure washed it, was down to bare metal, but a lot of it still had paint on it. So the bare metal spots where I undercoated and now I'm putting finish coat on, it'll probably be all right. But the rest of it will just be flaking off next year. The quick and dirty. I've gotten to where I can get pretty close to the windows without getting any overspray on them, or very little. But because I had to spray this awning, I got overspray here. But it's actually easier to do this than it is to take hours to mask everything off. And it's not too bad.
It comes off with a wet rag.
Yeah, for the most part. As for the paint spray on the brick, well, I got an answer for that too. I spray that with paint remover, the kind in a spray can, and I wait about an hour, and then I hit it with a pressure washer. Off it comes. It's just quick and dirty, but it's what we do because we have to deal with this every year. We spend about 2 days doing this, but it'll just happen again next year. There'll be paint up here that'll be peeling off that wasn't peeling off this year. There is no fix for this. So I know I'm going to get all kinds of comments about you should use this kind of undercoater or that kind, but when the paint lets go from the subsurface, there is no undercoater that'll do you any good. So this is what we're stuck with until we get thousands of dollars to put on new siding, which isn't going to happen. To be a little fair, I don't really know what happened to the money. I know that the previous owner would have been notified by this company that put the siding on because they had to do that by law. but I just assumed they took the money and ran because they certainly didn't replace the siding. I see a lot of other homes in this town that have this same siding on it with the paint just falling off of it. I feel sorry for them too. So if you've made it this far in the video, you're probably wondering what the heck this has to do with traveling on a limited budget. Everything. Because there's no way we could afford to have somebody paint our house. We have to do it ourselves, right? Also, our car maintenance, I do as much as that as I can myself. Every little thing, I do what I can. Linda does what she can without having to call somebody and pay for expensive labor. That's one of the secrets to traveling on a limited budget, is doing everything you can on your own. Hey, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video watching us work. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you around.